Welcome back. I am still Future Sash, and I bring you another episode of Mayuri's Ending. I hope you enjoy seeing what could have been. And I wonder, is this a better future for Okabe? We shall see. It's afternoon on the first day of Kamima, and the crowds are finally beginning to thin out. Of course, the industry booths and the cosplay area are still packed, but at least I don't have to wait in line to get in. I've been trying to get in touch with Mayuri for a while now, but she hasn't responded. I checked with Daru, but he hasn't seen her today either. Cosplay ends at 4 p.m. I focus on searching the cosplay area until then, but I still can't find her. Maybe she finished early and went home. I tried calling her home. No luck. They haven't seen her since she left this morning. Where is she? I'm always afraid that she'll disappear the second I take my eyes off her. It's been like that ever since she lost her grandmother. Maybe it's just my imagination. We've been so close for so long. I saw Mayuri at her weakest and most vulnerable. Maybe that has made me overprotective. But I don't care how other people see us. I just can't leave Mayuri alone. I step into the cemetery, the final resting place of Mayuri's beloved grandmother. When was the last time I came here? For about a year after Mayuri became my hostage, I'd periodically accompany her here. But I don't think I've been here since I entered high school, so it's been about 3 or 4 years. As I get closer to Mayuri's grandmother's grave, I begin to hear a voice. It's Mayuri. I'd recognize her voice anywhere. It sounds like she's talking to someone. I approach quietly. Hey, Granny. Mayuri is standing there, talking to the grave. What a relief. She hasn't disappeared. I decided to watch silently from a short distance away. I've been having scary dreams lately. For a second, I wonder if she's learned to commune with the dead. But no, she's just talking to herself. In my dreams, bad things keep happening to me. Like someone shoots me, or a car hits me, or I get run over by a train. What? Don't tell me. It's so real. It hurts so much, and I feel so sad. And I try to call for help, but nothing comes out. Why do you think I'm having these dreams? Does she remember her deaths? All of them? Is she inheriting memories like I do? And they always end the same way. Mayushi's crying, and Okurin comes to save me. Mayushi tries to say, "Thank you, Okurin." But Okurin can't hear my voice. He holds Mayushi and makes a very sad face like he's going to cry. But he never does, I can tell he's forcing himself not to cry. Come to think of it. Both Faris and Lukako remember their memories from before the past changed. I used to think that memories couldn't be shared between worldlines. I used to think that I was the exception with reading Steiner. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe everyone has the same power, and the only difference is how strong it is. Maybe reading Steiner is nothing special after all. That makes Mayushi even more sad. I try to say, sorry, but he still can't hear. And that's when I wake up. Why am I having these dreams? I failed so many times to save her. I've watched her die again and again. Everything I've done has been to prevent that from happening. And yet, have the memories of those deaths been tormenting her as she sleeps? I bite my lip in frustration. I still have a terrible decision to make. Do I save Mayuri, or do I save Kurisu? There's no perfect ending here. I can't save them both. It's one or the other. If I choose Kurisu, then Mayuri's dreams will become a reality. I don't want Mayuri to feel any pain. Until now, I've thought only of saving her. That is my goal. But at the same time, I can't let Kurisu die. Again, my thoughts are at the same dead end. Mayuri hasn't noticed me yet. She's still staring at the sky, just like she did the day I took her hostage. She's talking to her grandmother in heaven. Oh, right. We have a lot more lab mems now, you know? There's Chris-chan, Moeka-san, Luka-kun, and Ferris-chan. There's also Suzu-san, but she moved away. That makes 8 of us. It's really amazing. On this world line, they all became lab mems. However, not a single one of them has sent a D-mail. You know, it was just Okurin and Mayushi at first. Back then, Okurin seemed kind of bored most of the time. But now, he's having so much fun. Is that how she sees it? Well, she's not wrong. She really does know me, doesn't she? And that makes Mayushi happy too. It's so busy, but really exciting. Especially now that Chris-chan is here. She's really smart, you know. She's got a paper published in a famous magazine. Mayushi really admires her. She even made a time machine. Oh, but can't forget Okurin and Daru-kun help too. Then Mayuri falls silent. Her gaze becomes distant. She stands still and looks up to the sky. What could she be thinking? But, you know, sometimes I remember back when it was just the two of us, when Mayushi had only just become Okurin's hostage. I'd go to the lab after school, but Okurin wouldn't be there, so I'd tidy up the room and decorate it with cute things. Then Okurin would finally show up a little later. Mayushi would say, "Welcome back!" But instead of saying, "I'm back," Okurin would say, "Good work," like the big boss or something. Every day, we'd spend a few hours just hanging out, doing nothing, and then we'd go home together. We didn't talk much, but it wasn't bad. We were just there, together, you know? We'd sit next to each other on the sofa. Okurin would work on his big plans, and Mayushi would read manga or play games. And sometime, we'd have a snack together. It was so nice and relaxing. I never wanted to leave. I'd start feeling like a real hostage and laughed hee to myself. Then Okurin would turn to me and say, "I remember." It was 4 months ago, still spring. The lab wasn't as lively as it is now. It was an isolated bubble of slow-moving time. Did something good happen? Yep. Well, not really, but kinda. Ah, it must have been an illusion. We could be under attack from the illusion conductor, one of the organization's feared agents. Oh, gotta be careful then. But, you know, I'm still sure that Mr. Illusion Kidhugger... Conductor, not Kidhugger. I'm sure he's not a bad guy. It was nothing, just meaningless chatter to pass the time. I felt so happy there. So happy I could cry. I wanted to stay like that forever. Ah, but that doesn't mean I don't like how things are now, okay? Mayuri shakes her head in denial. Finally, she stops looking up at the sky and bows her head instead. You know, I haven't talked to Okurin much lately. Ellipses. Maybe Miyushi's getting a little lonely. It's true. I haven't had time to talk to her lately. That's because I've been fighting to prevent her death, to keep her dreams from coming true. All so that Mayuri will keep smiling. I never again want to see her cry like she did on the day her grandmother died. But, you know, I don't want to be a burden on Okurin. That word again. Burden. I've never thought of her as a burden. Miyushi's just one big nuisance, isn't she? Granny? Mayuri lifts her face once more. I can't stay like this forever, can I? Of course you can! Huh? When I finally speak to Mayuri, she turns my way with a surprised expression. Her face is so soft, so innocent. Slowly, her lips curve into a smile. It's Okurin! Wow, how do you know I was here? I always know where my hostage is. Hostage? You cannot escape my grasp. Not ever. Oh. But don't wear yourself out, okay? Miyushi's a little worried. Hoyin Kyoma is not so weak as to require your concern. When the time comes, I'll tell you everything. Huh? So stay with me until then, like you always have. Okay. Mayuri stands up and turns to the grave once more. As an offering, she leaves a brand new white lily as well as some dango dumplings. Let's head back, Okurin. Shouldn't we get some dango for ourselves first? Back when we used to visit the cemetery together, it was part of our daily routine to eat dango on the way back. Hee hee hee, of course! Akiba is empty again today. The otaku have all made the exodus to Kamima for the second day of battle. But come nightfall, they will return to Akiba like a victorious army laden with spoils, and the streets will be chaos. I know Daru has gone to Kamima. The question is, has Mayuri? I hope she has. I want things to be normal again. I remember what I heard yesterday. The feelings Mayuri expressed at her grandmother's grave. The events of the last few weeks have affected her as well. After I escorted Mayuri home from the cemetery, I spent the whole night racking my brain for a third option, a way out of this mess. My thoughts were a jumble, ideas coming and going too fast to judge which were right and which were wrong. But of course, there isn't a right choice here. For in the end, it always comes back to the same question. Who do I let die? And no matter how I try to dance around it, the answer is always the same. I can't choose. Is there no one else who can make this decision? No. Even if there were, I know I'd never accept their choice, whichever it happened to be. Once again, I'm heading for the roof of Radio Kaiken. I had to get out of the lab. Mayuri or Kurisu might return at any moment, and I can't face them now. I look up at the sky. The clouds are dark and heavy. It could start raining at any minute now. Ellipses? I thought that I was alone, but someone was here before me. Kurisu is lying in the middle of the roof, arms and legs spread as if making a snow angel. The image of Kurisu in a pool of blood flashed through my mind. Is she all right? I run towards her, but before I make it halfway, she suddenly sits up and turns to face me.
Okabe.
You're alive. What a dumb thing to say. Fortunately, it looks like Kurisu didn't hear me. She is busy combing her disheveled hair with her fingers. I breathe a silent sigh of relief.
Right. I forgot I might run into you here.
What were you doing?
Thinking.
Oh. Was she thinking about her death?
Ellipses.
Ellipses. I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. Kurisu appears to be in the same boat. She's staring at the capsule toy dispenser in the corner, her face wearing the usual frown. The awkward silence drags on. When you think about it, Kurisu's fate rests in my hands. My decision will determine whether she lives or dies. Her fantastic hypothesis yesterday was a desperate attempt to construct a scenario where she doesn't die. Even if she believes that her theory is correct, it must be difficult for her to avoid imagining her own death. I force a smile. I'm getting really uncomfortable here. Looks like I'm in your way, so I'll just go.
Oh, okay.
Damn, I was expecting a sarcastic remark like, since when do mad scientists have manners, or something. Just then, something cold lands on the tip of my nose. When I look up, raindrops start landing on my forehead. An evening shower. It's only going to get more intense, and quickly. Kurisu hasn't moved a muscle. She's just standing there, with her arms folded, staring at the ground as if she doesn't notice the rain at all. Hey, it's raining.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
She's acting strange, like her mind is elsewhere. I knew it. She's been thinking about. Whoa! In less than a minute, the rain turns into a full downpour. We had no time to seek shelter.
What the hell?
Kurisu's scream is drowned out by the roar of the rain.
What a surprise.
That's what you get for tempting the sky gods. Now safely inside the building, we take a moment to catch our breath. It's been a week since Suzuha's time machine has disappeared, but Radio Kaiken is still closed. The lights are off, and it's pretty dark inside.
You should have warned me sooner. Even my underwear's soaked.
Same here. I bet you're glad it's dark, huh?
What do you mean?
If the lights were on, I'd be able to see everything.
Ellipses?
Even in the dim light, I can tell that Kurisu is scrambling to cover her chest.
Forgot that you're a perv, too.
You're the one who announced that your underwear was wet.
Just drop it. If you're imagining what color my underwear is, I'll kill you.
I'm not imagining anything. She's too self-conscious. But the color of her underwear, Gotta be white. Cold?
About stripping naked, if that's what you're suggesting. Your pervy tricks won't work on me.
Who said strip? Calm down, will you? But if you want to strip, go right ahead. I can't make out your scrawny figure in this light anyway.
Another word and I'll make you eat your cerebral neocortex with ponzu sauce.
Sorry. Please, spare me that horror. Still, these wisecracks are a welcome distraction.
A storm like that shouldn't last long. Guess we'll just wait it out.
I see Kurisu's shadowy form move to sit on the staircase. I sit next to her.
Hey, get your own stair.
Ellipses.
What?
You're the one who said not to speak.
You're too close. Don't come any closer, okay? You can stay where you are, but come any closer and I'll push you away, okay?
Our bodies gradually grow cold. We start shivering. Maybe I should take off my wet clothes. But if I do that, Krisu will just call me a perv again. Better not. My eyes gradually adjust to the darkness. I can see Krisu more clearly now. She's huddled up against the wall.
Don't look at me.
Impossible! How can you see where I'm looking? Does she have infravision?
So you were looking.
Damn! She used leading question on me. That's such a high-level technique. I avert my eyes from Krisu and take off my lab coat. That's when I noticed my coat was torn at the shoulder. Damn! Must have caught on something when we ran inside.
What are you talking about?
Just a little tear in my coat.
Is clumsiness one of your character traits?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm a mad scientist. I bear the curse of insanity, not clumsiness. It seems like forever since I've talked to Krisu as Hoyin Kyoma.
Yeah.
Krisu suddenly holds out her hand.
Give it here.
What?
I happen to have a sewing kit with me. I'll stitch it up for you.
A sewing kit? You?
Something wrong with that?
I hand over my coat as asked. You're an experiment-loving girl. You're not supposed to be domestic.
Can't I be a domestic experiment-loving girl?
You? Domestic?
Relatively, maybe. Well, actually, I don't know the domesticity index for Japanese high school girls these days.
There's an index for that? First I've heard of it. Krisu skillfully threads the needle, despite the darkness.
It's wet, so it's kinda hard to thread.
Did you really just happen to have that on you?
Get over it already. Is it really so wrong for me to have a sewing kit?
It's not wrong. It just seems like you planned for this.
So you're saying I brought it with me because I somehow knew your coat was gonna get ripped? Uh-huh. Ridiculous. Now before you get the wrong idea, I'm not fixing your coat because I want to or anything, okay?
Nice tsundere line.
Don't mock me. You just happened to tear your clothes, and I just happened to have a sewing kit handy when you did. It's coincidence. That's all.
Coincidence. Hey, you didn't time leap, did you?
So now you're saying that I went back in time for the sole purpose of repairing your stupid lab coat. Uh-huh. Ridiculous. Ridiculous! There. It's so important I said it twice. Comprende?
You're right. If you had time leaped, you would have brought a towel, not a sewing kit.
What's that? Sarcasm? All you do is complain.
After working for a while, Krisu cuts the string with her teeth, then hands me back my coat.
Here.
Thanks.
By the way, it was dark, so I couldn't really see. If it turns out bad, it's not my fault. It was dark, that's all. Oh, and I hope you like the color, because I have no idea which thread I used.
It's random?
Black, red, or pink. Those are the three possibilities.
Let's just hope it's not pink. Cold?
I guess.
Take my coat.
But it's wet.
Well, yeah, but... Ellipses.
Ellipses.
Silence again. The words flow so naturally when it's just harmless banter, but 1 second of silence, and suddenly we have nothing to say. It must be because of what happened yesterday. I'm so desperate to avoid the topic that nothing seems safe. I know I need to say something, but what?
Have you made your decision yet?
Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can hear her clearly in the silence of the empty stairwell. I look at Krisu. She's hugging her knees to her chest, presumably against the cold. My decision. I know what she means. That's why I can't answer.
You still haven't made up your mind? You like Mayuri, don't you?
What? Where did that come from? Kurisu keeps staring into the darkness.
It's probably just my imagination, but lately I've been seeing things. Like a strange sort of deja vu. In these visions, you're fighting to save Mayuri all by yourself. You never give up, no matter how much it hurts.
Ellipses. Kurisu, too?
Then you come to me for help. You're so desperate, so earnest, that I just have to do what I can. Not that I'm doing it for you, okay? I just want to save Mayuri, that's all.
Ellipses.
Anyway, these images are stuck in my head, like memories.
So Kurisu's the same. She still has faint memories from previous world lines.
Tried self-analysis. Maybe I'm mistaking dreams for reality, projecting my hopes and fantasies. I don't know. There's one thing I do know. You have to save Mayuri.
Aren't you afraid? To save Mayuri, I must undo the current world line. If I do that, Kurisu will die.
Oopsies. You know, it kind of feels like we're trapped in an ancient ruin.
Kurisu suddenly changes the subject. She looks around the dark, empty stairwell.
Like the world ended, and we're the only two people left.
Ellipses.
I've been thinking. Say you go to the Beta World line and everyone else goes with you. What if I can't go with you? What if I'm the only one left behind? Would the entire world become like this place? It's just a theory, but I can't help but wonder.
I need to say it. I'll save you. Not just Mayuri, but...
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Kurisu cuts me off sharply, then buries her face in her knees.
You asked me if I wasn't afraid. Of course I'm afraid. Maybe I'll disappear. Maybe I'll be left behind all alone. Or maybe only you will disappear and everything else will stay the same. The world will continue, and nobody will even know that you existed. I'll go back to America as if nothing ever happened. Or you'll be left with the Okabe that was before him.
Yep.
Maybe. I feel hopeless just thinking about all the possibilities. But even so...
Kurisu raises her head and spears me with her glare.
Do you think I would tell you to just let Mayuri die?
Kurisu.
Jesus, it's cold.
Kurisu grabs her own arms. In the darkness, I see her shoulder shaking.
It's because of these wet clothes. This sucks. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. It's nothing but conjecture. Baseless, worthless. I want to cut open my skull and excise the part of my brain that comes up with these delusions.
Now she's talking to herself in an angry tone. Kurisu has always been calm when faced with the unknown. I admired her for that. I thought she was facing this calmly too. But I was wrong. Behind her cool facade, she was struggling to cope with the knowledge that her very existence was in jeopardy. She was fighting that fear all alone, and now it finally had come to the surface. Of course she's afraid. However brilliant she may be, she's still just an 18-year-old girl. Kurisu abruptly stands up. I realize that I no longer hear the sound of rain pouring on the roof.
Listen, Okabe. You can't save both of us, correct? No matter how you struggle, it's one or the other.
But...
No buts. My answer won't change. Save Mayuri.
I hear the pain in her voice. And also the resolve. Kurisu has made up her mind. I look away and clench my fists. My nails dig into the palms of my hands. Are you telling me to give up? To abandon you? I could never do that!
You can and you must. There's no other way.
No! You're a friend! I won't abandon you!
Okabe.
Krisu drops to her knees and grabs me by the collar. I gasp for breath as she stares me in the eyes. Her eyes are hard and stern. It's always like this when she scolds me. Always the same glare.
Is there another solution? There isn't, is there? I don't want to live if it means sacrificing Mayuri. If you don't save her, I'll never forgive you.
This can't be happening. I hate this choice, with no right answer. I hate the universe for being so cruel. And most of all, I hate myself for forcing Krisu to speak these words when she is the one with the most to lose. Tears well up in my eyes, but I bite my lip and hold them back. Is there really no other way? I can't bear it. I look straight back at Krisu as she holds me by the collar and tightly embrace her slender body. Her clothes are still wet from the rain, but all I feel is warmth radiating from the core of her being. But you're right here. Why does it have to be this way?
Okabe.
Tension drains from her back and her hands. She gives her whole body to my embrace.
Thank you. I know you're hurting for me, but you've done enough. I'm fine, so just think about Mayuri, okay?
Despite her fear, Krisu has made her choice. It's time for me to do the same. I need to decide, here and now, the future of the world, which friend to let die. Holding Krisu tightly, I whisper into her ear. I'm sorry. A meaningless apology.
Oopsies.
I want to save Mayuri, more than anything. These words are a death sentence, but I force myself to speak them. It takes every ounce of willpower I possess. I can't save you.
I know.
When I finish, I feel as if a great weight has left my shoulders, and at the same time, as if 1,000 needles are stabbing into my heart. Krisu weakly returns my embrace. Then she lets go and stands up.
Well then.
There's already a look of relief on her face.
I'm heading back.
Back? Where? To America?
The lab, of course. I need to dry my clothes. I want to take a shower, too.
In that case, we should go back together. But before I can suggest it, Krisu beats me to the punch as if she read my mind.
You stay here and soak for a while. Understand?
We can't go back together. That's her verdict. Understand. I hang my head and shut my eyes. Krisu's footsteps fade into the distance. I wrap my arms around my body. Even though it's summer and sweltering hot, I can't stop my body from shaking. I realize that a part of me is relieved that Krisu left alone. At least I don't have to face her again, to look upon the face of the girl I chose to die. I'm a coward. My self-loathing echoes in the darkness. I wait about 2 hours before returning to the lab. Krisu is already gone when I get there. From Krisu.
Cease to inquire what the future has in store, and take as a gift whatever the day brings forth. Horace, Italian philosopher. I'm going back to my hotel. do what needs to be done. Good night.
All she left is a single email. I sit down on the sofa while drying my hair with a towel. I look towards the PC in the corner of the room. It's already connected to the IBM 5100, ready for Daru to start hacking. I already got in touch with him. The hacking starts tomorrow, at noon. I drove myself even further into a corner by telling that to Daru. Now I can't turn back, no matter how much I want to. I chose Mayuri. I will let Kurisu die. Showering didn't soften the wrenching pain in my heart. In truth, I'm just riding on Kurisu's resolve. Mine is still a flimsy thing. I can't help but wonder, is this really okay? Really? Anyone here? Mayuri opens the door and enters. For a moment after she catches sight of me, she looks ready to burst into tears. But that quickly gives way to a smile. It's Okarin! What's up? Oh, nothing. I just decided to stop by. Hee. I swallow hard. Maybe I should explain the situation to Mayuri, but I know she'll feel guilty if I tell her. Mayuri doesn't need to know. Everything will be okay as long as we crack CERN's database and reach the beta world line. You know, I haven't talked much with Okarin lately. But I don't want to be a burden on Okarin. Can I really let it end like this? Shouldn't I tell her what Kurisu is sacrificing for her sake? Did you take a shower? Mayuri moves behind the sofa, grabs the bath towel on my head, and starts rubbing my hair dry. You smell good, like shampoo. I didn't mind the towel so much, but then she buries her nose into my hair and starts sniffing. Stop that! I jerk my head away. Mayuri goes back to drying my hair. I didn't go to Kamima today. Why? I was thinking about Okarin. When I got to Ariake, I remembered how sad you looked, and then I thought, I shouldn't be having fun at Kamima. So I turned around and came all the way back. Oh. Sorry for making you worry. Ellipses. Should I tell her? Or should I keep her in the dark? I haven't talked much with Okarin lately. Maybe she's getting a little lonely. Mayuri, how would you feel if I said I was keeping a secret from you? You mean like Okarin and Chris-chan are actually dating? Where did that come from? Okarin and Chris-chan get along really well, right? I think you two are meant for each other. No, it's nothing like that. Oh, okay. You don't have to tell me everything if you don't want to. Besides, it's normal to keep secrets from your hostage. This isn't the time for that. Whoopsies. Mayuri's hand leaves my head. I look over my shoulder in a panic, thinking she had wandered off again. She's there. I grab her hand, perhaps more forcefully than I mean to. Miyushi doesn't want to be a burden, so I'll wait until Okarin's ready to tell me. Just like I said yesterday, remember? And if I decide never to tell you? Well, I'd be curious. Really curious. But if that's what you want... Even if my secret involves you? Miyushi? I haven't told you, because I don't want to hurt you. Is that why Okarin looks so sad all the time? Ellipses. Then I do want to know. I don't like it when Okarin's sad. Even if it means you might get hurt? Mayuri replies, with a gentle smile. Yeah. She nods without any hesitation. Her smile is so sincere. It strikes me speechless. Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden. When Mayushi was sad because of what happened to Granny, Okarin took Mayushi hostage. Remember? That's why Mayushi always thought that whenever Okarin's sad, she could lend her strength to him, you know? Mayushi might not be useful, though. Useful. Suddenly, I remember. Mayuri is going to die tomorrow. I've been through it once before. She died protecting me, and her last words were, finally, Mayushi was useful to Okarin. So this is what she meant. I don't want to see you hurting. Very well. If that's how she feels, I'll tell her everything. I let go of Mayuri's hand and pat the sofa beside me. Take a seat. Mayuri does as she's told. Can I get some snacks? This is serious, remember? Oh, right. Mayuri sits up straight with her hands folded in her lap. Okay, ready. Everything I'm about to tell you is true. It's related to those dreams you had. I plan to sacrifice one of our friends for your sake. Okarin? Anxiety clouds Mayuri's face, but I ignore it and take her chin in my fingers. A switch has been flipped inside of me. You will soon regret your curiosity, my dear. For the deeds of the great Hoyin Kyoma are many and terrible. And so I begin, speaking as the mad scientist whose foolish experiments brought everything to ruin. I start with the first raid on the lab. I tell Mayuri how Moeka killed her. Next, I tell her about Suzaha and Faris, about Rukako, Moeka, FB, and Nai. I describe their fates in every detail. And finally, I tell her about Kurisu. By sacrificing Makisie Kurisu, I will embark upon a journey to a glorious new world. There was a lot to explain, and Mayuri kept asking questions, desperate to understand the strange concepts I was throwing at her. Thanks to that, the conversation went longer than expected. It's already getting late. And that is the plan most grand and devious of the insane mad scientist, Hoyin Kyoma. I call it Made in Heaven. Finally, it's over. Ellipses. Mayuri says nothing. She's staring at her hands, which are clenched into tiny, trembling fists. She looks ready to cry any second. What's the matter? Ellipses. Mayuri shakes her head and bites her lip. The whole time you and Chris-chan were hurting. Mayushi was making costumes like nothing was wrong. I feel so stupid. I didn't know anything. Of course you didn't. That's how I planned it. Are you disappointed in me, Mayuri? Sorry, but that's who I am. I will do anything, sacrifice anyone to accomplish my goals. Whether you like it or not, you're coming with me to the Beta World Line. You are my hostage, and you have no say in the matter. Ha 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 ha! Let chaos descend upon the world. That is the choice of Steins Gate. Mayuri ignores my performance. She gets to her feet and lurches towards the door. I quickly grab her by the wrist. Where are you going? I need to see Chris-chan. Please, Okarin, I have to talk to her. Ellipses. There's no way I can refuse Mayuri's request.